Josie, our community pet resource manager, and I were in Greeley one day because we had got 2 separate calls about mom and kittens at 2 different locations. And there was a detour, and that just happened to lead us past this other little subdivision that we had helped in the past, and we decided to pull in there and just drive through and see what we saw. Right at the beginning of that subdivision, there were 2 cats hanging out at what looked like this abandoned car repair business, like a smaller female, and then a pretty like dirty, rough, beat up tomcat. So at that point, Josie and I were like, well, we've got a couple traps with us, so we might as well see if we can catch them and, you know, at least get them spayed and neutered. When Stomie came into our public spay-neuter clinic, he was neutered, he got the rabies vaccine, he got the distemper combo vaccine, and the medical crew at that point diagnosed him with stomatitis, which is a severe dental disease. The day that we saw Stomie in the community, you know, he gave us that little body language signs that we suspected that he might be friendly. And then the day after his neuter surgery, when he had recovered, and we knew he had the dental disease, we were hoping that he was, you know, gonna be a friendly boy so that we could keep him and get him all the care that he needed. So we spent a little time with him the day after surgery and quickly saw that, yeah, he was, you know, a little bit scared being in the environment he was in, but he was allowing pets and we could tell that he was a friendly cat.
So I became enamored with Stomie as a foster, 1, because he was just so friendly, 2, because he was obviously had a hard life on the streets, and 3, I knew that the Alliance would be able to fix him right up and get him into a wonderful, wonderful home. I had had lots of experience with fostering cats with stomatitis in the past. In fact, my first foster that I had from the Alliance, she came to me as a stomatitis cat that I adopted. So I had her as my own cat with stomatitis, and then so I'd had subsequent cats with stomatitis. That experience allowed me to really understand Stomie's needs and make sure that he was feeling okay during the recovery process. One of my favorite things about him is the foster room is a bedroom, so I always go in there and I lay on the bed, and he just immediately comes up and just right in your face, you know, just wanting to be with you. And there's just something about that cat. He's just so happy and joyful. It's just, I've never met a cat like him, and I've met lots of cats through fostering for the Alliance.
So we walked in, and then we turned the corner. At the very end of the hallway, we just kind of saw his little face like peeking through the door. I mean, there he was just kind of sitting down, just looking at us with these like cute little puppy eyes. We met him and he was very, very friendly. He was just very, very lovey. He started purring close to instantly. We definitely got him with a lot of issues. I mean, he has FIV and stomatitis, so he doesn't have any teeth. He had surgery when we got him to have his teeth removed. And then he also had surgery on his chest because he was shot with an air gun apparently, so he had an air gun pellet in his chest. Knowing that he went through all that, through all those struggles, to me was just, like, I feel like I needed to help him because of that. Over time, he's really, really opened up to us. When we first took him home, he was just kind of in the corner for a while and he never came out. But then he just started loving on us and he got a lot more comfortable. He's just really grown into our family. We absolutely love him. Another light in your life is great, and he's definitely been that other light. Every time I'm doing something, I always just like to glance over at him because he's usually like sleeping in this cute position. Sometimes his tongue kind of falls out of his mouth a little bit because he doesn't have teeth to hold his tongue in. So sometimes we'll catch him like when he's sleeping, his tongue is just kind of hanging out. And I think that's just it's absolutely adorable. I mean, there's just so many things that I love about him. It's good to know that a shelter out there is supporting the cats and dogs that really need help.
It really was fate that we had to take that detour that day, and we came upon him and was able to just change his life and his people's life.
So I work one day a week at an affordable surgical clinic in the Denver area, and we had a dog come in who was pregnant, who was in dystocia, so having a difficult time giving birth. She came in for a C-section and spay. Blueberry was delivered. After we got all of the puppies out and got them resuscitated from being under anesthesia, she was found to have a pretty severe cleft palate, and that cleft palate basically communicates between the mouth and the nose. So what can happen is, as the puppy nurses, the milk is not able to go directly into the stomach and can be very easily inhaled into the lungs. We actually talked to the owners and let them know about the cleft palate. We, explained kind of everything that would entail and care for that puppy would entail. The tube feedings around the clock, eventual surgery to repair it, and that this puppy had a really, really high risk of aspiration pneumonia if she was to nurse normally. The family was not able to provide that level of care, and so we were able to kind of provide them two options. Either they could euthanize the puppy or surrender her to rescue, and I was very lucky to have Animal Friends Alliance here to take her on. I had already been on the phone making a variety of phone calls to our foster team, to our director of shelter services, and I was like, hey, there's no way they're gonna euthanize a couple-hour-old puppy. That's not happening while I'm here. And everybody was so supportive. I mean, instantly jumped in and was making contacts with people that we thought might be able to help foster, approving it, saying, yeah, take her home and we'll figure it out, basically. And that's something I really love about this organization, is that that's typically the response is, maybe it's not the perfect time for this to happen, but there's an animal that needs us and we'll figure it out.
I am a sucker for bottle babies, and Blueberry presented with a cleft palate, and so we knew right away that she was gonna need to have very special neonatal care. And so having knowledge of how to tube feed a baby was very helpful, and she took to it really nicely. So as Blueberry grew, we found out that she had more issues than just her cleft palate. She has cerebellar hypoplasia, which is not a very common disease for dogs. We see it more in kitties. But she also has a congenital spinal lesion, which just basically makes her a little weak in the hind end.
We were able to do a lot of different things to support her, her fosters being able to tube feed her and make sure that she was, able to keep things down, and that we were treating any signs of aspiration pneumonia. The CSU VTH was able to help us with both a neurology consult and her cleft palate surgery. The abdominal exploratory after she ate something she wasn't supposed to happened at our clinic here, and it was just a whole group effort.
She wags, she plays, she's crazy, and then she cuddles, which is the best. She loves to be underneath a blanket, and she just loves to be with people. I think when I knew there was a potential that she wasn't going to be in my life anymore, is when I really started thinking about adopting her. I had that conversation with my family about, do we want to make this a thing? Does Blueberry need to stay with us? And the more we talked about it, the more the answer was yes. She is by my side all the time. When she's not with me, it's kind of funny. I feel like there's a little bit of something missing, like I'm forgetting something like my wallet and keys, but really I'm missing Blueberry. She has gotten feisty as she gets older. Not in a bad way. She's just really coming into her personality, and it's just fun to see her go from this little bean of a baby to an actual dog. She's learning tricks like a dog. She's learned to sit, she waits for her food, and so she's just really allowed us to have some more fun and laughter in our life. She is just a little whirlwind of life that has just made everything better.
There are a lot of people who end up with litters in their homes, whether, through an accidental breeding or even purposeful, who then find out that they can't actually provide the level of care that those animals need. I think Blueberry is a really great example of that. Through her story, we were able to, get the mom, and the puppies were, mom was fixed, puppies were able to recover with their people through my other workplace, and then through the Alliance, we were able to take on Blueberry, who had no other options. Her other option was to be euthanized at several hours old. So us being able to be present for those animals who come from maybe less fortunate circumstances. It's not their fault that they were bred and born into the life that they were, but there still needs to be somebody that's responsible for them. And I think Animal Friends Alliance does a really good job of stepping in for those who need us the most.
Animal Friends Alliance is wonderful. They have saved so many lives, and Blueberry wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Animal Friends Alliance. She has come into my life and made it so much better, and it's because of them and what they're willing to do and who they're willing to save. And my life wouldn't be as good if it wasn't for them and her.